hello, all you powerful beings of love and light. Welcome to your Pisces new moon reading. And this Pisces new moon is going to be at its fullest on March 2nd of 2022, around 12:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you can calculate where that is in your time zone. And there is this wonderful beginning of this next cycle. You know, we have, of course, every 28 or 29 days, the new moon, full moon, always changing. The moon's always going every few days into a new sign. But there's this beautiful full moon, new moon cycle as well that happens around every 5 to 6 months. So the last full moon we had, which I'll show you this card here, was back on September 20th of last year. And you can see that it was talking about balancing spirituality and practicality. And that's the energy that we were having around that time. Taking practical steps towards our dreams and towards our goals, trusting our intuition. And with like the full moon, when it's its fullest, immediately the light starts to leave the full moon, and that's the energy that was happening too, is there was these endings, or at least the beginning of endings, as the light began to leave the full moon. And so this whole 6-month period has been about that journey, and also a time of diving deep into our emotions, because Pisces, you know, they're the fish. They dive deep into that water, into that emotional waters that we are. So these last 6 months, there's been a lot of that energy going on, and we are ready for this new moon in Pisces to come around. Another beautiful card, and you can see here it says, attune to the divine. So the energy that's coming around this new moon in Pisces is about connecting to your higher self. And whereas before it was all these practical steps and making sure you're doing all the work, now we're going into this beautiful flow where it's asking us just to slip into that flow of life, flow along with our dreams, embrace what is going on. And when we do that, when we connect to our higher self and just go with that flow, then we want what is happening in our life. And what is happening in our life is what we want. We don't get so attached to the outcomes of the future or reflecting on all the mistakes and the should-haves of the past. We get to really embrace this moment, and in connecting and staying in tune with our higher self, it just allows us to be further on our way to feeling blissfully happy and in tune with our dreams. So I am going to have a separate card reading for each zodiac sign, and we're going to dig in more into this dream and this flow of life and what the Creator wants you to know and how you can use this Pisces new moon energy. So we're jumping into your reading right now. All right, all my Geminis, this is your Pisces new moon reading, and we're going to start off by pulling a card here from the High Vibe deck and just see what the Creator wants you to know overall for this Pisces new moon. All right, so for our Geminis, what would you like them to know, please? All right, right off the bat there. And you've got the Vibe holder. And it says, think of someone you love, something that makes you happy, or imagine your favorite place. Hold that feeling. Hold it for as long as you can, because the longer you hold on to good feelings, the longer they stay. And that is great. So this is definitely this beautiful new moon energy that's coming in. They're wanting you to focus on the positive things, on what you want to grow in your life, because that's what positive is, right? Because positivity is about, it's really what we want in our life. That's how we perceive it. Because other people might see our same positive things as negative. Like they don't want that in their life, so they see that as negative. So this definitely is focusing in on those things that you do want to grow in your life, those things that you do want to have in your life. It's like focusing on gratitude, grateful for what you do want. And if you look at something else, that is what it's going to grow. I usually like have this picture in my head of like you have a hard hat on, like the construction workers wear, and there's this hose attached to the top, and the hose consistently has energy flowing out of it. And wherever we look is what expands and grows, because that's what we're feeding with that energy. So when I go, why is that growing in my life? My angels and guides, they're like, it's because you're looking at it. Well, I don't want that to grow. We'll look somewhere else. So I look at what I do want to grow in my life, and my energy and my focus expands that instead. And that's what I'm feeling with this. We're also going to pull from this Black Tarot, which this represents your shadow, which is like your unconscious, your subconscious. It's our little tour guide along this adventure of life that we have. And it's not a deceiver. It is like I said, it's our little tour guide, and so it has our highest advantage, our highest good in this life in mind. And so the messages that it is going to bring is for us to bring those truths that are running behind the scenes in our subconscious and bringing them to our attention for this new moon. So what would you like our Geminis to know, please? What else? Okay, they do want that one, and they do want that one. Okay. And then we're also going to pull from the Sun and Moon Tarot to see what else that our spirit guides, the Creator, all those beings of unconditional love and light on the other side, what else they would like you to know about your new moon. So what else for Pisces new moon? Okay, got those. And actually they want... Okay, yeah, they do want all of those. Okay. So they are talky. So we'll put these like this, and we'll start. Well, actually, we're going to start with this one here. So you got this vibe holder. Yeah, and you have the universe. So the universe is like the world card in the standard tarot as well. And it means ending of major cycles and new beginnings. And so I love this. First of all, the universe hears you. It doesn't listen to your words, it listens to your heart and your feeling wherever you're focusing. So if you're focusing and looking at something that you don't like in your life, and all you're saying is, toxic relationship, it's like, oh, they want toxic relationships, because that's what they're feeling is the energy of what you're focusing on. So whatever you focus on is what grows. But this is also this ending of a cycle of focusing on all that negativity, all those things that you don't want in your life, and focusing on what you do. So this is that cycle, this change that's happening for you. And then your shadow. Okay, so the world card, which is this card in another deck. So you've got it twice. And so they are definitely reinforcing that, yeah, this is a time of change. This is a time of ending of those cycles of all that focusing on those things that you no longer want in your life, and focusing is the total reinforcement of that message there. Yeah, and then you have the Six of Swords, which is perfect, because swords are your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindsets, your attitudes, your expectations, and the Six is our movement, and this Six of Swords is a movement of thoughts. You're letting go of those old ways of thinking and opening yourself up to new ways of thinking. So yeah, this old habit of looking at what is not working out in your life, they're wanting to encouraging you to change that, and that is all within your hands. And you do have the Two of Pentacles here. Pentacles is your outside world, and the Two of Pentacles is this balance between the physical world and the spiritual world, your human side, and all this fear-based experiences we have, and which is the character that we're on this adventure with, and the actor behind this character, which is our spiritual side, which is a powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being made of unconditional love. And so this is all about that balance between the two, and that it's so important for your journey here, and for this switching from focusing on that human side, that there's another focus that you can have. I actually have this video series, a free video series that's out called U times 2, which just started at the beginning of this year, and I'll have it linked at the somewhere at the video on the end, which is all about understanding the two of you that are having this human experience, which is all about that human and that higher self, and how we can bring them together in this beautiful walk together where you can see things in a completely different way. So I love that message here for you. And then you have the King of Swords. So you have the Six of Swords here and the King of Swords. The King of Swords, you see how has this Ace of Swords that he's wielding here. This is the powerful sword that connects you to the capital T truths of the higher realm, also allowing you to cut away those small t truths that are no longer serving you. So these experience of focusing on the negative, on the dark things, the things that we don't want in our life, we came here to experience that on purpose for a purpose, because in experiencing sadness and disappointment, we more fully understand the happiness and the joy that we really are. By experiencing all this conditional stuff and this fear of this world, we understand the hope and the love and the unconditionalness of the spiritual world. So we do come here on purpose for a purpose, but you're ready for this movement, obviously, of these thoughts and these beliefs, and this King of Swords helps you do that. Because here you have the Two of Wands. So you had the Two of Spears, now you have the Two of Wands as well. Wands is your drive, your ambition, your aha inspiration, your spiritual energy. And the two-ness coming up here again really shows you the two sides of you of where you have energy coming from. So again, you have that energy that comes from fear from the human side, the shadow side, or you have the energy of unconditional love that comes from the spiritual side. The Two of Spheres too shows you have two places that you have your worth come from. One is all those roles of conditional love that's so unstable and so temporary, with relationships defining you, with situations defining you, with things defining you. All those things are unstable, because people change or pass away. Situations never stay the same, and things break down, deteriorate, or are stolen. So we have all that kind of experience on our worth from the physical world, but then also from that spiritual world, we understand our pricelessness because we're unconditionally loved, and we have this, just because of who we are on the other side, that we are this beautiful, brilliant, priceless beings of light, right? So you definitely have this two-ness coming in, and that's what's helping you with this endings and new beginnings, is because you're seeing things from completely different perspectives and seeing that there is more than the one perspective that you've been told all your life. All those expectations of should be, supposed to be, need to be, have to be, must be, those are all of that human side. And then you have the Hangman. Yeah, makes total sense, because this is all about seeing things from a higher perspective, seeing things from your higher spiritual self. And then also it's about movement. You've been stagnant in where you've been before with your old thoughts and beliefs, and this is about movement, because you've got, of course, this ending of major cycles, you got this movement. So there's a lot of movement happening in your inner world. Yeah, and then you have the Justice card. Now this Justice card, it's number 8 in this deck, which in the standard tarot, the 8 is the Strength card. And what's great is there's this beautiful cohesiveness with this card being different than the standard tarot, because some of them do have it, as number 11 is Justice and 8 is Strength, and some of them have them reversed like this one does. And the Ace of Swords is what is here. They're bringing these capital T truths like this King of Swords and this movement. And Justice is all about the two scales here. One of the scales is your human side, one of the scales is your higher self. So there's definitely this strong message of that. And again, it's allowing and understanding that justice comes from our human side, because it wants to make sure it's contrasting, it's judging, all of its rules have to be obeyed. But then it's also the opposite, which is the unconditional love, the higher truths, and that is what brings peace to everything. And you can see here the yin yang, or the yin yang on here, however you pronounce it, that in the darkness there is the light, and in the light there is the little piece of darkness. And this is that beautiful joining together of both of your lower self and your higher self. What I always love with this card, though, is because the Strength card has a wonderful story to it, which is kind of like the poster child to this U times 2, series that I have out. And I really would encourage you to listen to it, because this is what this is all about. So it is like so in tune with it, and it has such great information. They're like anywhere from 10 to 20-minute videos each week. So like I said, I'll have that linked, and you can check that out if you feel so drawn, if it resonates with you there. But the Strength card, which is the normal number 8 that I talked about, has a lion and a higher self in it, which represents your human self and your higher self. And it's all this journey of that lion coming down here, our human coming down here, and it desires so much to be full. It's hungry and it's thirsty, and it's told, go out here into those worlds. Like I was talking about relationships, circumstances, and situations and things in your body and your bank account. It said all those things are going to make them feel whole and complete, and it don't. It makes you even more hungry, it makes you even more thirsty, and so you become desperate. And that lion, out of desperation, starts to roar in the jungle because it's hangry, it's hungry, angry, and it's not aware of the higher self yet. But the higher self is always aware of the human self, the lion self. So it hears it roaring, and it comes down and sees what's going on, and it doesn't kill it to put it out of its misery. It doesn't cage it to protect people from it, or try to manipulate it or control it with a whipping chair like they do in the circus, because it knows what the lion is searching for is the unconditional love on the other side from back home. And our higher self is made of unconditional love, so it can give the lion what it's been searching for all along. And so it hugs it and fills it with love, and that hangry, roaring lion turns into this purring little kitten, sitting in the lap of our higher self, feeling full, no longer thirsty, and feeling the unconditional love that it's been searching for all along. And it doesn't then take off. Our higher self isn't like Superman, where it comes down, rescues the lion, then leaves it. Now that the lion's aware of it, they join hands and they walk life in a completely different way. In this whole new cycle, I feel like this is what is spawning that awareness. So you become this, you are always a vibe holder. You're either at a lower vibration of love, which is our human one rooted in fear, or a higher vibration, which is of unconditional love and joy and peace and laughter. That's our natural state. And as you focus on those vibes, then you connect higher and higher and higher with your higher self. Like we talked about in the intro for this Pisces new moon, it definitely is about attuning to the divine, attuning to your higher self. And your reading is just screaming that for you. So I love this for you. And in addition to these readings, I also do, like I said, I have that series that's out, but also monthly readings by each zodiac sign, weekly readings like energy updates by each of the elements like fire signs, water signs, the new moon, full moon, and a variety of others. So if you don't want to miss out on any of those and be notified immediately when they become available, if you give this video a little thumbs up and click that like button, also click on that subscribe button, that gives you access to this notification bell, and just choose all on that notification setting, and then you'll get notified of any new videos that come out for this channel. And doing those things does help spread the love, because when you like a video, share a video, subscribe to a channel, it makes the YouTube algorithm so happy and wants to share those videos as well. So if you want to do any of those things, I greatly appreciate it. Also, these are general readings. If you want even more specific readings for your life, I do offer personal readings, and all of that information is in the description box below on this video. Geminis, just know as you're going throughout each and every second of every day of your life that you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things. And of course, I love you too. Have an amazing new moon. Sure, I'll be talking to you very soon. And until then, you take care.